Imagine the quiet hum of a perfect morning in Pacific Heights. San Francisco, the kind where the fog rolls in soft like a whisper, and the bay sparkles under a rare, unfiltered sun. Elena Hayes sipped her black coffee, strong and bitter, from a mug that read "Self-made" in engraved silver. At 45, she had crafted a life of steel, CEO of Apex Realty, a real estate empire worth $1.2 billion, turning derelict neighborhoods into luxury enclaves that redefined the West Coast skyline. Her penthouse, perched high above the city, was a fortress of glass and marble, bought with cash from her latest mega deal. No staff on Sundays, she preferred the solitude, a habit born from years of enforced isolation. But that morning, the security app on her phone pinged an uninvited alert from the building's lobby camera. She tapped the screen, and her breath caught like a snag in silk. There they stood, clustered like ghosts from a buried past, her father, Thomas, his once imposing frame now stooped with age, her mother, Lorraine, twisting a cheap scarf in her hands, her brother, Marcus, beefy but deflated, his old athlete's build softened by defeat, her sister, Vanessa, with that same polished facade cracking at the edges, and two young adults she didn't recognize, probably Marcus's kids, shifting awkwardly in ill-fitting clothes. 22 years. That's how long they'd pretended she didn't exist. No calls on her birthday. No holiday cards slipping through the mail slot. No acknowledgement when her name lit up Forbes lists or when Apex Realty's billboards dominated the highways. And now, here they were, pressing the buzzer like beggars at a feast. Elena's fingers tightened around her phone, the old ache rising slow, a tide pooling in her chest. Why now? What fresh hell had driven them to her door? The intercom crackled to life. Elena? It's us. Your family. We need to see you. Thomas's voice, gravelly with years, but laced with that familiar entitlement, the tone he'd used to dismiss her dreams as distractions while praising Marcus's football trophies. Lorraine chimed in, pleading, please, honey. It's urgent. We're blood. The word twisted in Elena's gut like a knife. Blood had never meant a damn thing to them once the truth came out. She could ignore them, let the doorman send them packing, or call the cops, claim harassment. But a darker curiosity stirred, the kind that simmers in the soul after decades of unanswered whys. She pressed the button. Wait in the lobby. I'll be down. No warmth, just command. As she dressed, tailored slacks, a silk blouse, heels that clicked with authority, she started her phone's recorder. Evidence. Always evidence. In her world, trust was a luxury she couldn't afford. The elevator ride down felt eternal, each floor a layer of buried hurt peeling back. When the doors opened, there they were, huddled on a leather bench under the chandelier, looking small against the opulent lobby. Thomas rose first, his eyes scanning her like she was a ledger to balance. You look successful. No hug, no tears, just appraisal. Elena crossed her arms, the sapphire necklace at her throat, a heirloom from Grandma Evelyn, catching the light like a cold star. Cut the small talk. Why are you here? They glanced at each other. That silent shorthand of a family she'd never been invited into. Finally, Vanessa spoke, her voice tight. We're in trouble. The business. It's collapsing. We need help. Help. Not forgiveness. Not reconciliation. Just her wallet. After erasing her from their lives. Elena's lips curved into a smile that didn't reach her eyes. Come up. This should be enlightening. As the elevator ascended, she felt the shift, the wounded girl inside her hardening into the woman who'd clawed her way to the top. in her penthouse, with floor-to-ceiling views of the Golden Gate Bridge. Elena poured water, no coffee for intruders. They sat stiff on her sectional, eyes darting to the abstract art, the custom bar, the awards shelf gleaming with real estate tycoon accolades. But Elena's mind drifted back to the cramped ranch house in Peoria, Illinois, where she'd grown up as the perpetual outsider. Family photos always showed Marcus and Vanessa front and center. Elena shoved to the edge like an afterthought. "Impressive place," Lorraine murmured, clutching her glass. Elena leaned against the counter. "Thanks. But you didn't trek from the Midwest to compliment my taste. So, spill it." Marcus cleared his throat. "Heard about your company. Real estate mogul stuff." "Congrats. Mogul stuff." As if flipping distressed properties into multi-million-dollar developments was a hobby. "And Vanessa's doing PR now?" Vanessa nodded faintly. "Yeah. But things are bad." Elena set her glass down with a deliberate clink. "Let me jog your memories first. Remember my 14th birthday? November 2001. You all forgot. Marcus had a game. Vanessa a cheer practice. You two at some Rotary Club dinner. I spent it alone in the basement, sketching floor plans from architecture books because at least paper didn't ignore me." Blank stares. "Of course." "Or junior year. My urban planning project won state honors. I came home buzzing. But Marcus had just scored the winning touchdown. We celebrated him with steak dinner. My award? Tossed in the attic." Thomas shifted. "That was ages ago." Elena. "Ages? Try my Sweet 16. Vanessa got a blowout party DJ. Limo. The works. Me? A thrift store card. And signed. From the Hayes family like I was a distant cousin. The young man must be Marcus's son." Alex fidgeted. Uncomfortable. His sister, Sophia, averted her eyes. "But Grandma Evelyn saw me," Elena continued, her voice dropping to a whisper that carried weight. "She'd slip me books on design. Whisper. You're meant for big things. Kiddo. Don't let M dim your light." Elena touched the necklace. "She gave me this, her mother's piece. Meant for the eldest daughter. But she chose me because family's who sticks by you, not who shares your genes." Vanessa's eyes narrowed on the sapphire. "That should have been mine." Elena's laugh was sharp. "Funny how I'm family for heirlooms, but not for love." The room thickened with tension. And then, her will. That's when it shattered. I was 23. Fresh from college. She left me $40,000 and a letter. The truth. I was adopted, your housekeeper's daughter. Father unknown. Evelyn pushed you to take me in. Lorraine whispered. Mom was always soft-hearted. Soft? She was my only heart. When I confronted you after the funeral, rain soaking my suit, you said, we did our duty. Fed you. Schooled you. Be grateful. Grateful like I was charity. Sophia gasped softly. Alex muttered. Dad. You said she left us. Marcus avoided his son's gaze. Elena pressed on, the words building like a storm. You gave me scraps while Marcus got scholarships you paid for. Vanessa weddings and trips. I left with 2 bags. Asked if I could visit for holidays. You laughed. Marcus, why? You're not real family anymore. Thomas protested. We were mourning, Mom. Mourning? You were relieved. No more obligation. Elena pulled up old texts on her phone. For years, I tried cards, calls, invites to my first closing deal. Your response? Stop disrupting our lives. Focus on Marcus and Vanessa. They're our future. Alex's face hardened. You wrote that. Marcus mumbled. It was complicated. Complicated. The word ignited something deep in Elena, a slow burn turning to blaze. Complicated? I cried in a roach-filled studio in Oakland. Heat off in winter. Eating canned soup. But I decided, you'd be right about one thing. I'd build alone. She paced. Voice rising. Days flipping burgers. Nights studying zoning laws at the library. While Marcus chased his coaching gig on your dime, I scraped for my real estate license. Vanessa's bridal shower? I was crashing on a coworker's couch. Saving for my first flip, a condemned duplex I turned for profit. Lorraine's hands trembled. We didn't know. You didn't care. Elena gestured to framed clippings. 20 rejections from investors, no network. No backing, too risky. But the 21st? Sarah Klein saw vision. $1.5 million seed. Apex Realty was born. The air grew heavy. Elena's revelations damming up years of silence. First year, 18-hour days gutting properties. Negotiating liens. Learning contracts from free online courses. While you vacationed in Florida, posts all over Facebook, I celebrated my first $1 million sale with cheap wine. Alone. Marcus squirmed. Success hit headlines. Apex acquires downtown block for $200 million redevelopment. I rang the NASDAQ bell solo. No family cheers. Vanessa whispered. Impressive. Impressive? It's spite-fueled. Your rejection lit the fire. Net worth, $350 million. This penthouse? Cash. Dinners with mayors. Deals with titans. All because you discarded me. Thomas finally spoke. We had no clue. No. You had needs now. Spill it. Marcus sighed. Hayes Developments, Dad's post-retirement venture. Commercial spaces. I manage ops. Vanessa marketing. Pandemic tanked us, loans defaulted. Project stalled. Need $2.8 million to restructure. Elena nodded. Unsurprised. She'd monitored them, public records. Social feeds not from longing, but leverage. Chapter 7 bankruptcy looming? House. Cars. Kids' tuition gone. They nodded. Desperate. Sophia pleaded. Aunt Elena. We didn't know about you. Sweet. But irrelevant. You want my empire scraps after erasing me? Hope flickered in their eyes. I'm considering it, not for you, but to show what you lost. But first, more truth. Elena retrieved 3 binders from her study, placing them like evidence in a trial. Open the first. Lorraine did. Gasping at photos, family Christmases without her. Vacations she wasn't invited to. Spliced with her returned letters marked refused. You built a life excluding me. The second, her triumphs juxtaposed with their mundane posts. While I built Apex. You bragged about Vanessa's baby shower, never mentioning the sister you had. The third, unsent letters from her darkest days. Panic attacks alone. Hospital stays with no emergency contact. Birthdays wishing for one I love you. Thomas closed his eyes. We chose wrong. Chose? You erased a child. Alex stood. This is messed up. You lied to us. Vanessa snapped. She was adopted. Sophia retorted. That makes it crueler. Elena watched the fracture, generations clashing over her pain. This isn't therapy. It's context. You want money? Understand. I owe nothing. She gave them an hour to stew. Sobs echoing as she stepped away. Returning with contracts. She laid out terms cold as steel. No $2.8 million gift. Instead, trusts for Alex and Sophia, $400,000 each for education. Managed by my firm. Untouchable by you. Alex's eyes widened. Why? Because knowledge freed me. You deserve that. Next, I'll fund a rival firm to snatch your contracts, unless you sell Hayes Developments to me for $900,000. You'll work as employees. Salaries I set. Horror dawned. Humiliating. Vanessa cried. Survival, Elena countered. And one more. Public confession. Interview with the Chronicle. Admit abandoning me. The pain. The return for money. Lorraine whispered. Our reputation. Built on lies. Own it or lose all. Marcus fumed. You bought our mortgage? Months ago. Foreclosure in 30 days if no deal. It was justice. Not vengeance, mirroring their cruelty with choice. They took it. Of course. Survival over pride. The article exploded. From discarded daughter to real estate queen, a family's reckoning. Viral shame. But Elena's empire grew untouched. Now, Thomas oversees maintenance. Lorraine admin. Marcus site management. Vanessa client outreach, competent under her watch. Therapy mandated. Alex and Sophia thrive, him at Stanford. Her volunteering at Evelyn Hayes Shelter for Abandoned Youth. Funded by $1.9 million, Elena diverted, the sum they'd begged for. A letter arrived later. Lorraine's script shaky. We see now, the birthdays forgotten. The love withheld. You mattered. We were the broken ones. Framed as proof, truth heals. Even late. Elena sits now on her terrace. Sapphire glinting. Bay winds whispering freedom. Apex employs thousands. With programs for the overlooked. The Hayes? Distant employees. Trying amid scars. Alex and Sophia visit, real bonds forming. Revenge? No. Elena rose above. Turning betrayal into unbreakable strength. The sweetest payback, a life where their absence means nothing. Her worth self-proven. Grandma Evelyn was right, you have value. Elena never forgot.